thank you for agreeing to speak with us today.
The dog. One of the dogs.
Telling us a little bit about your story to share with our members and our audience. So we first heard about you through Humans of New York, and read about your story there. Since that story happened, it seems like a lot of things have changed in your lives. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. Well, first of all, we met Brandon, the writer of Humans of New York, because he was one of our customers. He likes to eat the way that we make the food. We didn't know, of course, who was he. And well, in the time that we met, he little by little, he know about a little of our history. And in a moment, he told us that he really liked some parts of our history, and he began to interview Christy to know all the things that has happened to us to come here to US. And yes, when Brandon made the interview with us, we were fighting, but we were well. The restaurant was growing little by little, but we're still in this moment that you need to put. We only have in that moment one employee, and the things at least was going better. And we know that we're going to do it, but 1 year more, 2 years more, or 3 years more of struggling, no? So
and of course, with all the stress of the debt, the rent, the regular payments, right?
Right.
And we had faith that maybe in 1 year, 2 years we will be
okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but with the post of Brandon, the thing changed really in 24 hours. Not only for the fundraising, of course, that is something amazing that has happened to us. Also in the business, that the lines of people that began to arrive to our place has been amazing. Now we have 6 employees.
Right.
Little by little, we have to find them. So Christy also has the time to go to home to prepare her book, to stay more time with the girls, also that she loves to stay with the girls, to share with them, to teach them also, because they have troubles in the school. Because
we have a lot of troubles in the school with the teachers, because 3 of them arrived without any English.
Right.
And they went a few months to the school, and after that it started the pandemic, and of course being in the school, online school in English was the worst for them. They was all the time looking the laptop with the person speaking another language was very, very difficult for them.
Yeah.
Well, now they are better, but well, my English is not good to teach them, but I am trying, and they are teaching me now. But everything changed literally the next day. The next day, we start with the lines of customers, so much job to do. Now the cookbook. The cookbook is, I think, our mission, a bless, and it's amazing for me. Like a mom can be in the morning in the bakery, and the afternoon with the girls running around me, cooking and writing the cookbook. It will be a lot of work and a lot of effort for us, because I have to make so much things now. I have to be in all the places at the same time, in the bakery, here with the girl, with the book, in the kitchen. But I think everything works. Everything works because it's very weird. Wake up in the morning and say, okay, which is the new problem now? And we think, okay, we only have good problems now, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. Try to find, okay, where is the disaster today? No, we don't have it. We only have good news, right?
I think you had enough of those for your lifetime. It's probably, hopefully,
we have a good problem, no, because we have a lot of customers, and we are trying to organize better the kitchen, or that we are selling out and we need to produce more, or that our space of production now is too small. We had sent our first frozen food, like approved, to New York, because also we have a lot of people that are trying to have our food frozen. So we're trying to develop these things, but it's and step by step. No, we're not trying to get crazy with all these things. We have to make the things correctly. We have passed through so many troubles after I entered in bankruptcy and I lost everything, that we know that if we have to grow, we have to grow little by little, that the business pull us instead of we try to push the business all the time.
Right.
Sometimes you have to let the business pull you, and that grows in the way that it should be.
And now we have another mentality, you know. For example, for the baker, we think, oh, our kitchen is so small, we have to develop a frozen line, because all the people are asking for delivery for all the country. And we were looking some places, and in some point we stop and think, well, the answer will be here in any moment. We only have to wait the signs. And it's a different vision that we have now, that we have more trust in God, in universe, whatever you want to call it. And it's only trust. Okay, we have to wait, the answer will come, everything is perfect, everything will be okay. And we are waiting the answer for the bakery, which is the best place, if we have to move or not, or whatever. But it's amazing now are living with peace, like a inside peace, like a security that everything is perfect in the way that is.
So when you first arrived in America, from what I understood reading your story, you came just shortly before the pandemic hit. Is that correct?
We arrived here in October 2019, and the pandemic started February. Yeah, it was very, very close.
So how did that affect opening up a new business in America, in addition to all the other issues you were having already? You had problems with an investor that backed out of your restaurant. You were down to your last couple $100 and decided, okay, this is how it's going to be. We're just going to have to start. And so you started.
We really, this guy was really a friend, no? The investor. Brandon put you more like an investor, but this really was a friend. That the idea never was to have an investor.
Okay.
It was to open by ourselves. But when we arrived with less money than we expected,
yeah.
And we realized that we're not going to have the money to begin the business, we spoke this guy that has another kind of business and is really wealthy.
Right.
And he told us, he analyzed the number, and he told us the numbers are not good. You don't have any money, you don't have any customer, you just have a bakery and an idea.
Right.
So you have nothing. So if I put money here, probably I'm going to lose it. So the idea of this guy, that this was a really good friend, and he's a really good friend now, it was, I am going to pay you your tickets to return to your country. No, you sell all the things here, so you pay your debts, and at least you arrive to Peru again with some money, and you can begin something there with your family. So he really tried to help us in his way of being,
right.
But he didn't live the things that we live together to arrive here. And when you have passed through several travels and you have seen some signs, no, that say, for example, the way that we find the place, the way that all the things happens, you see that something has meant to be, and we were there because we have to be there, and we were in the start of the start of the line of the race, and we don't have money to open. So in that moment, we decided with our last $200, at least we're going to try. We're going to say, well, we're here because of something. We have to put this money to buy some supplies, and the next day we have to, well, like a little shop. Not with the things that we buy today, we spend money for buying the supplies tomorrow and sell, and like that, little by little.
Okay.
And the things has to, and well, the things go well little by little. We were growing little by little, and then came the pandemic.
Yeah, and how did that affect
was
everything?
terrible.
Yeah, because so many restaurants and small businesses have closed because of the pandemic.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the good thing is that we only were both of us. He was in the front side, and I was the only. We didn't have any employees.
Right.
it was difficult and was easy, because it was difficult because we had to bake until 1, 2 a.m. and start with at 5 or 6 with the girls.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't have so much payments to do. Then it was easy. Maybe the other restaurant has so many employees and was difficult, but for us was only work hard.
And we were lucky that the owner, the landlord of our place, has been a great person with us. She understood that we have a really big debt with her, but she never told us, "I'm going to throw you out." We spoke with her several times. "We're going to pay you in parts. Please wait for us. We're trying to do our best." And we were lucky. Not everyone has this thing. A lot of people, the owner of the land told her, "Well, you have to go."
Right.
For us, we were lucky of that. And of course, when these things happen with Brandon, immediately, and now she's in day. All the list is in day. She's really happy with us. She visited us. And of course, we told her that she was part of these people that really help us to survive, because it was not only here. We have customers that work just for an exchange of food. For example, they were celiac, and they say, "I'm going to," because they saw us, just me and Christy working. So they told, "I have some hours, I can work with you. You pay me with some food that I can take." And another customer bought us, for example, the heaters for the winter. So something that we realized here in the US, probably is like that. I don't know in UK, but is that the people here has a really big feeling about the small business and the family business. And when the pandemic came, they knew in the community that they have to go to buy to the small business, not to the big one. The big one has money to survive. They have their time to go and buy at least something. And this kind of help is the one that makes us survive with the community. Without the community of Roswell, we couldn't do nothing, but they still going.
So where are you going from here? You've got the restaurant, is the cafe, I guess you call it a cafe. Are you doing any sort of catering? You have a cookbook. Is it out yet, or are you working on the cookbook?
I'm going to tell you something that Brother Christy is going to want to talk, she told you about the mission, and it's that just after the post of Brandon, you can imagine the amounts of messages that we had. A lot of them, not only for our history, but also for the thing that Christy told about the food and how she healed really our daughter.
Right.
So this book is going to be an amazing book of not only recipes of food, it's also about the healing, it's also about the ingredients, the importance of eating organic, real food, and the good that these things make to your health. So Christy has received a lot of people that are
mostly moms. Of course, moms very worried, very concerned. The good thing that I can feel in this kind of emails is that something inside the moms is moving, but is for example, you have this feeling that, okay, I have the answer, the food can heal, but I don't know, the community say a thing, the doctor say a thing, and you start to lose the faith in your mom's feeling because of that. When I talk about food, about my daughters, they wrote me saying, "Thank you so much, because something inside me saying that the food can help. And please give me some advice." And of course, I answered a lot of emails, and I have a bunch of to answer now. But it's amazing how the moms has this kind of extra sense inside with the answer, And of course, it's only receive some kind of hope, some kind of support, and of course they can heal or sleep the symptoms of the kids.
Of course, you also asked about the future. The first thing, as we told you, is and step by step. The first step is of course that Christy can have the time to make a really good book. She as a professional or as a as a chef or especially in nutrition, is really good for her. And of course, also for the business, because the business finally is going after her. When she grows as a chef, when she grows as an influencer, because in the Instagram she has more than 10.
Well, I don't want to be a time. No, I don't want.
Well,
I only want to help, but very high.
well, but she's growing, and the life sometimes take you to points that you didn't choose, but you are there, no? So she didn't choose to be an influencer, but now she is. When you have more than 100,000 followers, well, you become an influencer. So she's now, understanding that she has a power, of course, to give a message and to make a really good book and to live a little teach the people about the good things of eating organic and eating special diets, and that really the food is a weapon against
it's a mission, because when you receive so many miracles in your life, you have to return. You have to return to God, to the people, to the universe, all the blessing that you have. And for me, it's very difficult because I really hate to be in social media. But the mission is there. The mission is that. The mission is to help. I am so glad to try to do it.
And as a business, we are, my job really is to make all the support in the restaurant. I'm staying there, organizing the things. Of course, the second step for us is to begin to deliver frozen food. But for that, we have bought some equipment, and we are looking options to have our commercial kitchen that we can produce there, or look for a bigger place. We are looking just options, but we know that our second step is going to be probably to deliver frozen food or make our premixes that are also this thing we should have it in Peru, that you make the premix of, for example, her brownie or the coconut and carrot, and everybody can do it. So there are things that we are trying to do before we thought about another second place or something like that. No, our first step is going to be to increase our production area and to send this kind of product to the country. So,
One of our ambassadors is online with us, Feranmi. He has a question he'd like to ask you, I think.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Oh, hello. Hello, Mr. Christian and Ms. Christian and Sebastian and Rosie. My name is Feranmi, and I read your story, like everyone else, on of Humans of New York as well. And one of the things I found interesting was when your wife talked about, searching the internet for recipes and information on more like organics and natural baking and other things like that, like food that could help with the immune system and other things. I'm just seeing if she could share some information with us here.
Well, I have my oldest daughter that has the autoimmune disease, and all the doctors wanted to give her a lot of medicines, biologic medicines, medicines for life, and antibiotics. I think that because it's a very weird disease, and I think that all the doctors was only making what the book says, without any kind of hope really in the treatment or whatever. I wanted to make a lot of tests, lab tests, and DNA tests. And I realized I don't want this kind of life for my daughter. Be all the time hospital with a lot of medicines, a lot of stress about her health. Because if you are taking pills and making tests all the time, yeah, you feel sick, but you really believe that you are sick, right? It's a constant remind you that you are sick. And I think, no, it has to be another way. And I tried the first, before that, with my second daughter that has the celiac disease, that the food heal, and also with all the respiratory issues. And I think, no, now our goal is try to understand how the immune system works. And for me, it was amazing because I started, I started with a book of Amy Myers. Amy Myers has a book that is called, it's basically the AAP diet. But she explained how the immune system works, like a medicine class, you know, and which was the job or the effects of every food in the body, specifically in the immune system. For a person that has a good health, you can recover, for example, eating grains or legumes or nuts or seeds. But for a person that the immune system is not working well, you cannot deal with this kind of food. Then I realized, well, we don't have any change. It's this bunch of medicines, or we can start with the food. And I start with the food. I was, because all the diseases you can see in the skin, and I start taking pictures every single day to watch, okay, we can see a difference. And was a bless also, because if you have the skin problems or your disease can show you in the skin, it's easy to see if the treatment is working or not, right?
Yeah.
Then if it's inside, is not difficult. But after 2 months, I realized that all her skin was totally clean, only with the diet. I take it as all the medicines. The doctors told me, you are crazy, you are irresponsible, because you are making a huge mistake with your daughter. And I said, no, I really believe in food. And of course, in Peru, the organic food, the grass-fed meat was very expensive. Then I decided, well, maybe I can try, for example, with the regular meat, because it was very expensive. We didn't produce a real good one, grass-fed meat. And I tried for a month with that product. And she started again with all the problems. And I realized, okay, it's not only the food that you eat, it's the quality of the food.
Yeah.
The quality of the meat. If it's grass-fed, if your veggies are organic, because, for example, I was always fighting with my mom, for example, about the food. Why you have to choose organic? Because in our time, we have only food. It was not the conventional or organic, was only food, but was really organic food, was the real food. And that's why maybe our grandparents were more healthy, because they were eating food, not products. I realized 3 things. One, the kind of food that you are eating, the quality of the food, and also how you feel. Because when Sebas had the heart attack, Camila started again with all the skin problems. And I think, well, maybe some kind of stress inside. You have to be the whole package. You have to, and that's why maybe the doctors doesn't have the real answer, because they only say, okay, case number 1, case number 2. And they never ask you, what are you eating or how you feel? Because if you put all these things together, you have a whole human being.
Christy has read a lot of, well, you know, the functional doctors, no? The functional doctor is a really big current now in Occidental doctors,
because
that
they
they
see
have
the
studied,
people like people,
and
like
and they also try to find, you know, the problem, the really problem, not just treat the symptoms. The important thing is to solve the base problem, because if not, you're going to live all your life taking pills because you have the symptoms and nobody take care of really.
Another thing that I read at the beginning, the Gerson therapy, it was a thing that I love it. This doctor said that the human body has the power to heal itself. You only have to give it the right food to work. And the food is the food. Then you can heal only with the right ingredient, the right food.
The Gerson theory is the one that has all treatment for cancer just with food. And he was an Occidental doctor with studies, no, nothing like that. So Christy also have wrote a lot of them, no, of this kind of doctor search, and of course he has teach me, no. So now also I'm her. She's my teacher in this thing, no. She's the and then she teach me. And in the beginning, of course, I was a little worried of the thing that she has done, no, with my kids. But I also realized that there's no way, the other way I didn't like for them, that this take close of her life. So I trust in Christy really, and I told her, well, do.
At the beginning, he complained a lot about the prices of the food. Oh, why so expensive, organic
it's
food?
Expensive. Yeah. But finally, you save money, you know, because the money that you waste in food, finally you save in medicine. So for me, was also trusting in her and begin to learn. Well, after you see the results, of course, you return a believer. Our pediatric doctor in Peru also changed his way of mind, and he's now really open, and with the new child, he always speak about the food because he has seen also the results. That's something amazing, no? That also everybody
and I think with the time he started to trust me like a mom, and I think the mom's feeling is the best for their own kids. And if the doctor trusts the mom, yeah, they can find a way to fix any kind of health problem.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I mean, it actually stands true to say you cooked your daughter to health, you know, because I even remember when I was in school, yeah, when one of my mates had malaria, and we went to the hospital and they were recommending other drugs that weren't really, you know, relating with the symptoms. And she called her mom, and her mom was like, okay, go to the pharmacy and get this so and so drug. And I was like, you know, you talk to the doctor and the doctor gave a different prescription, and you talk to your mom and your mom told you to get this. And she got the drugs, and 2 days later, she was already feeling okay. So, you know, mother's intuitions are always top notch. Cool. So, yeah, let's talk a bit about your husband now. You know, you started a furniture company, and things weren't really working out well, though there was progress. I mean, you had enough funds to get furniture from all around. You had your own showroom and everything, and you had to sell that. You know, how did that make you feel, and how are you moving forward from there?
Well, all my life, well, since we met, we have this factory, and really, I felt that it was a mistake, you know, something that I understand when I have the heart attack. Sometimes when you work too much in a place like mine, no business, you feel that your business is your son. Sometimes, no, that is part of you, and it has grown 20 years with you. The things, of course, all the time, an entrepreneur, a business person, have to take some risk to grow. So all the times I take some risk and I grow, I take some risk and I grow. And when I make this big showroom that really in my mind was the last step that I have to make to really be finished, no, all the growing in the company. Well, the things politically in Peru change and the investment stopped. So it takes me in a really bad moment. And I have seen, well, that so finally a lot of projects that I had begin to stop because they suspended for a year, waiting the new government was going to be. And well, it was a really bad moment. But I was all the time thinking, I'm going to take this out, I'm going to take this out, and fighting and enter in a hole each time bigger because I put my housing guarantee, because I financial the things more. When I realize the thing that I have done, of course I understand that I make a mistake. Because sometimes when the things don't work, you have to put a step back and say, for example, I should say I'm going to close my showroom immediately. You know, the things are not going well. I lost some money. I make a step back, and well, doesn't matter. But in my head was like, no, I have to push and push. Christy told me several times, I think the things haven't go well, but well, finally after struggle like 3 or 4 years, I finished with this heart attack. And when I was with the heart attack and feeling, of course, that you're dying, in the way to the hospital, I saw my wife, my kids, and I said, well, I have $5. In what position I'm going to let them, no? In bankruptcy completely, without any money, of course, without me, like a parent, like a husband. So I am losing everything just for a business. And nothing is more important than your life, finally. So, because the opportunities are going to come again, you have only to try and fight for them. But in that moment, I realized how fool has I been, no? That I am dying for a business. In this moment, when after the surgeon, it was a really big heart attack. The doctor told me a number 8 of 10. No, a lot of people die of the kind of heart attack that I had. But well, he told me, you are okay. You finish, the stent is okay. Your heart has died some part, but it's working perfectly. So, well, after the surgeon, I spoke with Christy, and Christy all the time has this dream to come to US and begin a business. And I all the time told her, I am Peruvian, I am a businessman, I'm industrial, I'm not going to move from my country. No way, no way. But in that moment, I realized that, well, life is life, no? And I have a second chance. And I realized, and I told Christy, we're going to lose everything. Because if I decided to close the company with the debt that the company has, we're going to lose everything. But I can push more. If I continue pushing like that, I'm going to finish that. So we decided, both of us, that we're going to close, and well, that the bad things are going to come, no? Because we know that we're going to lose a lot of things. And in that moment, we decided, well, if we're going to recover some money or a little, we're going to invest in US. And of course, I knew the talent that Christy has, and the recipe that she has in this special niche of healthy food. So I told her, opening a furniture company or something like that in US is going to be too much expensive to grow. It's going to be really difficult. It's better to open a little restaurant. In the restaurant, the good thing is that the cash, you receive it every day. So the thing that you sell today, you have the money today. In a furniture company, no, you have probably to invest first in the furniture, then you have to sell it, and then so the return takes more time. You need more investment. So we decided, well, the business that we have to make is the restaurant. And well, the things began to show it, as we have talked before. These signs that you know that the things that they're doing or the decision that you have made are beginning. Immediately after 2 or 3 months, we decided to close the company. I was like, I have to be like 2 months in recovering my home. So my brother that lives in US called me and he told us, you remember this place that was gluten-free, a gluten-free bakery? They are selling this bakery now. So in that moment, we didn't have enough money. So we have to ask for friends or family for a loan. And of course, most of the people don't give no money, no? But we find someone that give us and trust in us. And with this money, I traveled December 2018 to buy the things. And the thing happened little by little. We spent like a year waiting to travel to US for our visas of investment, because we have an investment visa. Well, the things happens like you know in the history that Brandon told. But the thing is that we saw all these little signs that show us that when you close like a door, someone other is going to open again, and you push for it and have faith on it. The things are going to come step by step. You have to have faith, and you have continue, of course, with courage and resilience. But all these things is based in the faith, no? If you don't have faith in you or God, in my case, I'm a God believer. This is the strength that you have, no? That the thing
you have to work very hard.
no, of course.
Wait.
You don't sit and wait. The faith is the faith always is active, never is passive. These people that sit and say no, the thing is going to come, no. you have to push, you have to take decisions, and you have to move forward with faith, of course, but move forward, make your part, you know. And that's the thing that we have made, like a family, and like a marriage also, no. We have been in so much problems that, of course, in these kind of things, or the marriage destroys sometimes, or gets stronger, no, because these things have been really difficult, no? The thing that you pass, that your kids love at school, you have to take them home, and of course, it has been really difficult, no, to pass through these moments. But finally, now we are really happy with the decision that we took, no, that because the business is growing, and what's about, you know, Christy always told me that I am a dreamer, no? And you know, you can, for me, if you stop dreaming, you stop living. So you have to all the time dream. Doesn't matter your age, no? You can be a young people with a lot of dreams, but now I'm 48 and I still have a lot of dreams, you know? When I have 70 years old, of course, I'm going to have a lot of dreams. I'm 70 years old. The moment that I stop dreaming, the moment I'm going to die. So I told Christy that, no? Because we thought in that moment we can stay in Peru, try to recover, and I can look for a job. All my life I was independent and have business, and we spoke in that moment. You can look for a job, you can work like that, and I can't see myself working like that all my life, you know, just to survive, to pay the rent. So I told her, no, I prefer to take the risk. You know, I prefer to look for something, to our own business, like we always like, in another place, doesn't matter. Because finally we are now in US, doesn't matter. But we have our own business and it's growing, and everything is about that. No?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually very good as well that you had that faith and you were assertive and you were also courageous to take those steps as well. You know, I think I read on the article on the blog as well saying you now saw the cafe as a business of yours as well. So I'm just gonna ask, you know, considering the nutritional advantages now or benefits of, you know, your style of confectionaries, do you plan on supplying hospitals or hospitals or nearby clinics around?
So give, for example, special diets or special
especially considering that there are people that will be having allergies and people that want to have a gluten-free food and other things.
Well, it's very difficult to work or to convince the doctors, the conventional doctors about the food. In Peru, I have so much doctors friends. They try. Some doctors that think like me, some doctors that don't. And when you have a doctor that don't believe in food, only medicine, is very difficult to convince. And to enter to a hospital or to a clinic to support the patients is very difficult. I think it's mostly a personal decision. If the patients want to change the diet, they can find us. But us knocking the door to the hospital, say, okay, I have this option for you. I think they will say no, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, because even considering when the pandemic hit and a lot of people were coming with various, you know, like say drug remedies here and there, you know, there was still a lot of eyebrows that were raised considering the efficacy of the whole thing. So, you know, I think it just tends to growth and being open-minded about, you know, things like this.
Oh, yes. No, we are. I think the Christie's book is going to open us opportunities like that, for example, no? Because because depending on the doctor also, or the people that is in charge, if they read, if they know and they trust in Christie's work, also they're going to be more open to this kind of changes. something that you have seen probably in this pandemic is that we have spoke about the drugs, about the treatments, about the vaccines, but never you have heard a lot of people talking about the food. They have spoke you about the population in risk, the population of that, but nobody have said stop eating this.
Yeah, maybe in vitamins.
Even mental health as well.
She come from in a field.
Because in the food industry, is so powerful. No, for example, the milk. We are not we eat like 80-20 or 90-10, no? Sometimes we eat, for example, a cheese of meat, no? Made with milk, no? Milk, because we like it, of course, when we eat it. Normally, our diet is dairy-free most of the time. And for example, the milk is one of the make you the big troubles in the respiratory issues. So if you
It's
have
very inflammatory.
and make you problems in inflammatory issues. So if you're in with a pandemic that attacks you, the respiratory area, one of the things that you have to stop eating is milk, for example.
All the dairy.
No, all the dairy, but nobody's going to tell you that. Nobody.
Oh no!
Because
Don't dare to tell about the dairy industry because they will.
it's a really big industry. So how a doctor can go out and say, we recommend you, but in this time for pandemic, please stop drinking milk. Then nobody's going to tell you that. Nobody. You understand? So when you told us about a diet in the hospital, also other things are making in a way that well, the food industry is still working.
It's very
you know?
sad, but everything in the world now is about money.
A lot. No?
Yeah.
A lot. So they are really big business that, well, of course. So they change you something, and they can recommend you other things, but other things are untouchable. So well, I hope but the thing that we have seen, and that's important, is that our customers, a lot of them, has begun to change. New customers have begun to change their food costumes because of the pandemic. They have realized that they are, for example, part of the population in risk, or they want to be healthier. So because you don't know what's going to happen in the future, so they realize that they have to change the way that they eat. And it's something that is happening now. We spoke with most of our customers, and a lot of them told us, we used to eat in that way, but now, after all the things of the pandemic, I like to eat healthy. So I think the mentality is changing. That's important.
Yeah, very, very. So thank you. Let me just hand over back to Miss Nicole, but I'll be on the call. So if I have any question, I'll also pop up as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all the time for your contact. You were one of the first persons to contact us as soon as we have the post. So we are really happy to be with you today also.
Can you
have been really patient.
Can you tell us a little bit more about this change in mentality that people have that you're seeing? Do you think it's something that can become more widespread, more mainstream? Is it something that you could possibly create a franchise of your restaurant that becomes nationwide or maybe even international? Is that something that you see? You're a dreamer, Sebastian. Is that part of your dream?
It's his dream. It's his dream.
Well,
it's not mine. It's his dream.
Well,
Yeah.
I have my dreams. It has I realize with my life, but something that I speak with Christy when we come here. Another thing that has happened is that I'm not going to make the mistakes that I make in the past. So if we have to grow, I have to be patient.
Right.
Because it was the old Sebastian, of course, I would be now making an investment in a place, bigger, and all this. Now we have decided to make the things step by step.
Yeah.
Of course, it's harder, and the idea is there, is to grow first with the frozen food, but a franchise or something like that, for the kind of business that we make, we produce everything. We produce our breads, our cheeses. So
Right.
all a franchise is going to depend in having a production center. The production center is the first step.
Okay.
And that's the way that the business is designed, because finally we make all our food from the scratch.
Yeah.
We rendered some of our things. And well, yes, we have these dreams, of course. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but we're going to step pushing, and well, with faith always that the things are going to be better and better for us and for our kids.
And do you have any idea there where you're located right now in Roswell? Would it be feasible to open a second location?
Well, first of all, we know that we need a bigger place now,
Right.
and we love Roswell, so we're going to stay in Roswell for a while, and then probably the market is going to show us the place that we could open probably a second place. But for the moment, we're going to go step by step. We know that we need this production center or a bigger place.
We are waiting for the answer. Really.
And really, we are, yes, we know that the first step is to send frozen food to the rest of US. And we are trying to make this like a first step. And then, of course, that the trademark, we are working in also the branding.
Sure.
And well, we're going to be open if some investor come and he likes our business and have to make it big. We're going to be open of that. But the first thing that we're going to work is in the branding, is in Christy's book, that the people know her more about the things that we make. Right. Well, and in the side, we're going to be working in the business, of course, trying to grow step by step.
Great, great. And how are your daughters feeling when they are they back in school yet? Have they returned to school, or are they done?
Yes, they returned a few months ago. The little three ones, because the two older, they prefer to stay online. They speak very, very well English, and at this age it's very difficult arrive to a new country, new language, and the pandemic is very difficult to socialize. Sure. All the kids are separated, and
the high school is complicated.
It's complicated.
Here, it's really big. All the kids has his little groups. So now that they are also maintaining the social distance and maintaining if you walk, you can walk only with 2 or 3 people around. So the people are walking with their friends. And if you're a new one, it's really complicated for a teenager to adapt it. So our 2 older daughters, they are well in the school, but they have, of course, social problems to have friends, and they have prepared to stay at home, and we have supported them, because in the beginning we pushed them to go, but then when they explain us how easy that they don't have too much opportunity to talk to nobody really, the people are rude, so we prefer not to push them.
They have the lunch alone with a shield, then it's difficult to share with other kids. So but I hope the next school year will be.
The children ones are the ones that are great in the social part, but not in academics. So
that will come.
But the third one is the one that is growing also academically and socializing, and is the one that probably has made them big marketing in her school of us. No? All the time that she spoke in the school is about her restaurant, that they have to go. She began a campaign to stop the chocolate milk in the cafeteria.
That was going to be my next question. How do they feel about the way their classmates or their friends are eating compared to the way they've always eaten or have been eating for most of their life?
We have the same problem in Peru.
Yes, but
they always have the same problem, but they love to cook. They love to be in the kitchen. Then, for example, in the beginning, when we were only us in the bakery, our kids help us a lot. They can make a whole order, a sandwich, a smoothie, a salad. They can make everything. Then they enjoy the kitchen, the way that they are eating. And of course, they have a lot of questions too. Mom, why the kids eat that kind of cookies in a shape of fish? Can I try it? And sometimes I say, okay, you can try it to compare, but you have to decide, because one thing that I believe is, okay, I don't want to prohibit all the food. You
Yeah.
have to try, but you have to understand why are you choosing the health option and not the other one.
Yes.
They have to learn about the ingredients, about the good products too, learn labels, and they have to decide.
Also, we are not, sometimes if we go to a meeting or a play with friends and they have to eat anything, the ones that can eat anything are the 3 little ones. They eat it, no? They know
Yeah.
that's not going to be all the time, but they
Right.
can take it, and they know it's not the healthy thing, but for a moment, they enjoy it, no? It's like us also sometimes, no?
Yeah, but the good thing is, for example, the little ones, when they come from the school, well, I don't know why, but the teachers gave them some candies. And they came with the candy, Mom, I have a candy. Can we change for a healthy food? Okay, great. Then I change, for example, a candy into a quinoa cupcake, or a candy into I don't know, a apple bar. And they love it, and I appreciate, and I feel very, very, what is it? Orgullosa. I'm very proud, because they can eat the candy in the school. They can eat it. I never knew that, but they want to come and say, okay, I want to change, because they understand how important is the food.
So they make business with us, you know, because she pay us with the candy for muffin of the restaurant, a cupcake in the restaurant.
I'm starting to dream along with you, Sebastian. I'm imagining a TV show where you teach kids how to cook and your daughters are involved, and Christina's in the kitchen showing them the difference between, you know, something that's mass produced and something that she makes that's healthy, a healthy option. I think what you're doing is so great, and I really hope that your mission is accomplished, because it's something that this country in particular is in dire need of, especially with the rates of obesity and heart disease and diabetes that we see nowadays. It's all food related, and it's clear because we have diseases here that don't exist in other parts of the world. So it's got to be related to what we're eating.
Of course.
Yeah.
Something that you have told us, you know, that our daughters learn really how to eat everything, is because they cook with Christy normally.
Sure.
When the kids
Are involved in the
kitchen, they cut the vegetable, they cook it, they eat it easily because they are part of this. If it's they are producing this, how they are not going to eat it if they are part of this? So they learn also to eat cooking, and it's something really important in our family, the area.
And it's really one of the greatest gifts you can give your children, because those healthy habits will stay with them for their lifetime. And they know, you know, okay, I can have a regular cupcake, but I understand that it's not the best choice. And that's something that will stay with them forever. So thank you for doing what you do and writing your cookbook and sharing your story. Most of all, thank you for sharing and being so open about the struggles that you've had, and hopefully more and more successes as time goes on.